Previously. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Terraria. Now it is 4:58 in the morning, which is pretty cool because it should be getting sunshine anytime. And when we last left off, we had a let's build, and we built our underwater base all the way over here. Look how magnificent that thing is, and we will go and check it out very, very shortly. I've made some minor changes, but first, we're gonna go revisit something that we did a while ago. Remember, we made our artificial jungle? Well, it has since sprung up a Plantera bulb, so we're going to go fight Plantera. Might as well, because we now have a reliable, sustainable, renewable source of Plantera bulbs in an easy to access location. So if we destroy this now, by the time I've finished going over everything else and stuff, another one may have spawned in. Hey, which is pretty cool. Say the least. There it is, look, just up there. So we can just fight this, we'll get straight to the Plantera fight, and then we'll get on with the rest of today's episode. Do I need to do anything? I need to equip this one, don't I, so I don't die. Yeah, I ain't stupid. Boom! Let's see what we got out of that. We got a temple key, a wasp gun, a pygmy staff. Nothing too great, nothing to write home about, but that's fine because now we can leave, and when we return, there may be another one there, and that didn't take too much time, did it? This is why I'm loving having this here, because now we don't have to traipse around in the jungle for hours on end, looking for, across the entirety of this, looking for stupid freaking Plantera bulbs that could be anywhere, and recently haven't been showing up anywhere nearly as much as they should have been. Right, so let's... Oh, before we go to the base, I want to show you something that I got during a solar eclipse when I was building. Now, this is something that's been on my list of very rare items, and I can now cross that off, and that is in this chest. The eye spring, which drops from the eyes or enemy in this solar eclipse. So let's test this out. It says summons an eyeball spring, so we'll go up in our little area where we can see things very clearly. Also, I should put my shoes back on so I can actually move at a decent pace, and let's see this little eye spring. That's right behind me. Ugh. Oh, these little blood trail as it walks. Look at that, it's disgusting. Oh, it's like a slinky. Careful, careful, careful. Right, can you fly? Let's hover. Oh, that is disgusting. Look at it waggling its way through the air. Oh, that is foul. That is pretty foul. That's pretty cool that we have that now, because that's off our list. And if I put it away in the correct chest, which is this one, there we go, the pet chest. Bonk. We now have on our list of rare items only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rare items left to get. 2 of which come from Plantera that we're desperately trying to get, and one of them is from another jungle enemy, which is the Angry Trapper. Alright, so I'm going to quickly sell my stuff to... Oh, I've buggered up my old traps. That's fine. Yeah, I'm going to sell these to water while it's daytime. I don't like coming in here when it's night, because... Not wasps, not wyverns, wraiths, those guys. They tend to come in and harass my people and kill them, which is not the best. I don't want to be in here. I do not want to be in there at all. I'm just going to pop away this temple key that I have in there, and now we're done. Right, let's go to my underwater base, and I'll tell you some stuff about it. Now, first of all, in fact, let's... Should I? Yeah, why not? If I have one of these, it just makes it easier to show you the wiring and stuff. If I just have something like that, look. So I'm going to explain what's going on a little better. So if we're coming on here, go in here. And then, now, you may remember I mentioned I have a switch on this side, but not on this side. And I said this one was planned for something else. And it was actually planned to go to the underwater base. But have you seen how far away it is from here? That is a long way to take wire all the way across there. And I didn't make it that far. It was just too far, I couldn't be bothered. So instead, I wired it up here. So if I put this on, you can see a bit of a weird wire shape, and I'll go through that in a second. If we head out and along the other side of this, you'll see the wire comes all the way along, and then it goes across the landscape towards the base. I try to keep it underground as much as possible, but sometimes it's just not possible. So yeah, what I mentioned this in the beginning of the Let's Build video, I had such an issue with this teleporter, which is why it's wired up weirdly. And the issue is, it would not teleport me into here. So I thought there was a break in the line somewhere. So the easy way to tell if there's a break in the line, other than looking through it all, is to dig up the teleporter and place it somewhere closer. And then you know, if it doesn't work, the break is somewhere even closer. If it does work, then the break is further away, and so on and so forth. So I kept moving the teleporter closer and closer and closer until it was literally next to the other teleporter, and it still wouldn't work. And I'm like, well, I can see there's no break in the line. And it was just bugged to all hell, and I couldn't figure out why. So I went on some forums and I was showing screenshots and saying, look, why isn't this working? And it turns out I found some unknown bug. But I think I figured out why exactly it was. And I think it's because it was underwater. I don't think it liked teleporting me underwater. And once I removed all the water from inside here, the teleporter worked perfectly. And I've had no issues with it since, which is why I've moved it back here. So the way it's wired up right now is in a weird position because of how buggy it was, and I kept moving it around. And I really can't be bothered to go back and fix it. So if I take a leisurely journey over to my base rather than using that, I can show you some of the other stuff we've got going on. Just find our way through here. Oh, lightning! Did you see? I don't think I've ever seen lightning before in this game. That's awesome. Right, let's get our way across. Now, you notice this area is corrupted, and we pushed the corruption back quite a ways from our build. In fact, you may notice once we get up here, look, this is not corrupted. And now here, this is where the beach comes to. And it never originally came up to here. The beach, you can see where it originally stopped, it was there. And I brought it all the way up here, across a chasm hole of darkness that I've purified. So which means I've added a lot more water to the ocean than was originally there. But I needed to hide my base. Obviously I want it to be under the water. And when I started building it, it came out a little, which is... So yeah, we filled it all in, made the beach much bigger, because you kind of need a beach, don't you? Hang on. Sorry, that was slanted and it annoyed me. So there's the wire coming all the rest of the way around, look, across to the teleporter way. And you got the beach, and this down here, look, I'm going to come underneath and show you. I wanted a way to bring the beach over this chasm area, but I couldn't be bothered to fill in this chasm. You know, like we did... Oh, I've got to scroll all the way across now. Do you remember when we purified the other corrupted area, and we filled it in and made a very, very nice area here, look? It used so much stone and mud, and it still looks a little bit spotty in places, but it used so much to fill in all that corruption. I didn't want to do it again here, look. So what I did was, I just built this little bridge. So it looks like it's a bridge that's since been, I don't know, high tide has brought the sand in and covered it over. So that's how that is. And then obviously I covered it up with sand. Let's get up and out of here. And then we come down into the ocean. So no one's really going to go down into the ocean. They'll hop across or fly across or however it goes. And they will encounter these jaggedy rocks. So you don't want to sail a boat across here. Look, you'll crash into these. Now, lighthouses, a common thing I found, people seem to think the lighthouses, to show you it's safe to land there. It's not. Lighthouses are always to warn you, don't land here because there's rocks and stuff. You will crash. So, yeah, there's rocks here. And that will kill anyone who comes sailing in. Rocks on the other side. I've tried to make them look jaggedy, But if you zoom out, it looks like there's been some kind of like explosion, like the lighthouse has crash landed into this and it's a big explosion. Now at one point I was tempted to colour this in like all orange and yellow to make it look like a coral reef, but I decided against it. I think I prefer the rocks. Now if we go up, so this is our lighthouse. I've got 3 diamond torches up here, the brightest of all lights. There's no way to create some kind of spotlight effect shining out, but I figured, you know, 3 diamond torches are probably the best I can do. Now I put orange doors on here because I was going to change this, but I didn't. I was tempted to make it white like a proper lighthouse, but I think blue is okay. I might add some blue doors then instead of orange. Now as you come in, we've got these carriage lanterns. I think that's what they're called. Caged lanterns, sorry. These are found in some dungeons, but not all of them. And down at the bottom we have a bed and a bookcase. So it's like a typical crappy little lighthouse keeper's bedroom. But there's nothing more to do here until we go inside. And I just want to point out that on the outside, look, I placed coral growing around because I think that looks cool. It makes it look like it's been here for a little while. Now you may notice on 2 specific areas, this one on the opposite, there's a glass coming out. There's nothing I can do about that. That's back wall. If I remove it, you can see an empty gap here. It's inside. So if I remove it, you see the gap. If I put it in, you see that. So it's a pain, but there's nothing I can do. So let's run up out of here. In fact, no, let's teleport out of here. And let's take the actual teleporting system we have here, and then here, and then we stand on here. Now you see I've moved the teleporter over to this side. The reason is you exit a teleporter the same way you go into it. So if I run off it, look, I'm over here. And what was happening, because it was on this side, I would run off it and then run into this wall and then have to turn around and jump over it. So I figured just have it going this way. Now, if this is on or is this on or off? Look, I put this in here so you can't really get up and out. Solid floor. Flick it again. And we can go up. Now before I go up, I just want to say this is our emergency base in... Oh, you son of a gun. I've put the wire running through these lamps, which has turned them off. I need to correct the wiring and sort that out so these lamps are on and not off. Silly me. Yeah, so this is our secondary base in case the worst happens and those meteors crash, and our main base, which is this green one over here. If that gets destroyed, and if our airship gets destroyed by these meteors that are coming in, crash landing any day soon, we have this base, and we've got a bed, we've got a table and a chair there, so we can quite happily live here. We've got a street lamp, so it looks like you're entering through some dark alley. Now if we fly up, this place looks a lot nicer, I think, now I've been through it. Now, a couple of issues with this. At the end of the last episode, you may have seen me plant some saplings. That was a foolish mistake, because saplings will not grow if there is a background wall there. So those saplings I planted were destined to never grow. So what I did after I finished recording is I came back off camera, took my hammer, removed the wall, as much wall to about here I think, then planted them, then waited for them to grow, then added pumpkins and sunflowers and stuff, then replaced the wall. It was such a pain in the butt to do that. But I mean, it looks better with trees in here as well, doesn't it? And I think the pumpkins and the sunflowers just add a little bit extra detail. Now there was tall grass in here and a couple of flowers, but apparently they do not like it when there's a background wall there and they instantly get destroyed. So yeah, sucks, I can't have them.